Hello everyone, it's Dr. Carlo Bellini here with Precure. I thought it would be interesting today to consider a couple of quite interesting things regarding the spread of coronavirus and where are we at. And what we're seeing is this is growing exponentially. In terms of its rate, it's doubling in Australia about every 3 days. So let's now have a look at it from an interesting perspective here. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to use this in terms of Australia. So we had one person, the first person on Australian soil got diagnosed with coronavirus. On the 18th of March, so just a few days ago, this was 566 people that are on Australian soil that got diagnosed with coronavirus. This doubled in 3 days. On the 21st of March, Australia hit over 1,000 cases of coronavirus. We then see on the 31st of March, if we project out the doubling every 3 days, we would expect in Australia to have over 10,000 cases of coronavirus in Oz. Doubling every 3 days, again, we get to about on April 3rd, near April Fool's Day, 20,000 cases if we are maintaining the current social distancing program, which in Australia is thus far ineffective. By April 7th to 9th, all Aussie ICU beds will be full. And that's also assuming that all the beds will actually be full of only coronavirus cases. There will be no capacity for anyone else with any other health conditions other than coronavirus. By mid-April, we see here 100,000 grains of rice. Each of them is representing one person, and we'll have 100,000 cases of coronavirus. Now, the thing that's really interesting to know is in Australia, we say, well, how much capacity does our health system have? How much capacity does the New Zealand system have to be able to absorb this? And this is demonstrated by the following. In Australia, we have 2,000 intensive care unit beds. In New Zealand, we have about 170. Obviously, New Zealand is a much smaller population. It's a similar proportion. Now, the people in that 100,000 number of beds, number of people that are sick, that will be requiring hospitalisation and intensive care, imagine trying to fit them into those 2,000 ICU beds. The reason why it's really important in terms of intensive care is that in coronavirus, what we're seeing people that are getting infected, and there's a wide variety of presentations. It can range from anything to asymptomatic, and you don't actually have any symptoms from the coronavirus. You don't know that you've got it, and you don't know that you can spread it. That ranges all the way to people that have respiratory failure. They essentially get pneumonia in both of their lungs. If you are someone that has severe response to the coronavirus, it is likely that you will require ventilation for support. To be ventilated, that occurs in an intensive care unit bed. Now, there is no country around the world that has enough intensive care beds to be able to actually make this supportive for all. So the only option that we've got there is to be really, really, really aggressive to minimize the spread of coronavirus. It's up to each of our responsibilities to act immediately, because otherwise we're going to end up in a situation where our healthcare system is completely swamped. We don't have enough beds. Other things happen, as we know. We can have seizures that are unexpected, heart attacks. We can get sick with other types of pneumonia. People break arms, people break legs, they need surgery. If intensive care beds and all the hospital beds are full with coronavirus patients, then there is going to be limited or no capacity for our day-to-day health conditions.